It is Tuesday, November 26th here at the West End Gun Club. It's right after 7. We're out here this morning to do a run-through of the December 2024 NRL22 Course of Fire. Already set up a couple stages and just warmed up my rifle here. We're going to be shooting the Voodoo 360 again today. At the last match, you may not have watched it, but I just posted some footage of the November match, which we shot just a couple days ago on Sunday. And I was running the DST Precision derail. It's a Arca rail that you can attach on pretty much any stocker chassis. They make them in aluminum or steel, and this is steel. And I didn't weigh it, but I think the specs are like around 5 to 6 pounds for the whole steel Arca plate. And I secured it to the MPA Matrix Pro, and I removed all the internal weights, and I have just two external weights, or a pair of external weights on the fore end. I took off the weights on the fore end at home in the garage and felt it, and I think I like it with the fore end weights, or the external weights, so I'll leave them on. I kind of want to take them off because they are wider on the fore end. I like to just be able to grip this side, but it's all good. I'll just leave them on there. But anyway, that's the gun we're shooting today, and let's go ahead and dive right into the December Course of Fire. First stage we're going to run through in the December Course of Fire is called Debi's Hurry Christmas. It's a 12-round stage. We have a 55-gallon barrel and a sawhorse, and we'll be shooting prone as well. We have 5 sets of targets. We have a 1-inch KYL at 45 yards. We have a 1-inch on a single hanger at 63 yards, a 2-inch on a single hanger at 72, a 2-inch on a single hanger at 89, and a 3-inch on a double at 100 yards. The way they did the diagram, they numbered the targets near to far 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as far as distance. And the odd number targets are kind of on the left of your lane, and the even number targets are going to be on the right of the lane, or the shooting area, where the left side will be the barrel, right side will be the sawhorse. No real restrictions here. You're going to start standing right off the high ready, all gear in hand, mag in action open. On the start signal, you'll engage the targets with 1 shot each in the following order. 55-gallon barrel, 1, 3, and 5. Prone, doesn't really say where prone, but I'm just assuming anywhere in the target area, but I'm assuming you'll just pick the center. But prone, 2 and 4, so the even numbers. You go to the top of the sawhorse, 1, 3, and 5 are the odd number targets. Back to prone, even number 2 and 4, and then back to the barrel, but you'll be shooting 1 and 5. So basically odds, even, odds, evens, near and farthest, 1 and 5. Pretty simple, straightforward. It's not that hard to remember. So I was looking at this stage before, like when they released it, and I'm not entirely sure how, I'm still not entirely sure how I want to shoot it, because I didn't have, this is the first time I set it up and I didn't test my gun, like as far as how I want to run. But I have an idea in my head what I want to do, and there's also an alternative that you can pick. But we'll try what I want to do, and we'll see if it works out. And I'll probably try and run the alternate. If I don't record it, I'll just run it anyway off camera. But let's go ahead and try this stage. One, 3, and 5. My parallax is all jacked. Okay, where those targets at? Two and 4. 1 in 5. 5 seconds. Yep. Ooh, that one's tough. And I didn't do a mag change here, which I needed to do. Okay, so I figured that one's gonna be slower, but let's try another one. I had a different idea for doing this, so let's try this out. Missed it. Point 6. 1.3. 1.3. And I just dropped my microphone. My bad. Woo! Okay, that one's tough. That one's tough. Okay. 119.27, missed one at first shot. Okay. Let's break this down. Before I begin, I know a lot of people are going to complain that like I wasn't level when I took the shots. I mean, I was just more focused on getting my gun on the target before getting level. So in any case, first run I tried to use bipod, and I was using bipod on the 55 gun barrel and prone. The problem was you don't have much room to use a bipod simply because you have to come all the way down. And so if you come all the way back here, you can shoot prone like this with the bipod. But when you get to this sawhorse, I move my bipod kind of forward so I can get this out of, I can get this in the balance point. Some people will argue just put the gun here, the bag here, and the gun there, and probably should have done that. And maybe this would have been faster. And the only problem is I lose the balance because now I'm back heavy, like really back heavy, and I need to really support the gun like this. I think for the sake of time, this might be the better choice. I feel like I got rounds in here. Let me take. I can probably take these shots without issue, as long as I'm not stressed. But under stress, this might be a problem. So, what do I got? 0.6. So maybe this would have been the choice. That might have been the choice, but I moved my bipod quite a bit during the first run, and that cost me some time. In the second run, I just ran the bipod folded, and I shot with the bag from this position. And I felt like this was probably better because, man, there's a lot of wet mud on my bag. But I think using the bag off the barrel might be better. I don't know. To me, it just feels a little bit more natural because you got this really poorly, poor small, I guess poor footprint to rest your bipod on. And I think it might just be easier just to go bag. So in that regard, I like that fact. And maybe that might be the choice for me, just to shoot the bag there, just then bring my bipod legs back down for prone, leave my bipod legs in place for that and switch, then go back down there, and then up here, got to move the bipod off. I was unclamping it. I think the next, or folding it, I think the choice should have been just to release, instead of folding my legs back up from the prone position to transition to the barrel. Instead of folding legs, I should have just clipped my, unhooked my bipod or unclamped it, and that might have been faster. So something to keep in mind there. And then if using that second method, I think getting my rail attached bag might be the faster play, because it'll just stay on the gun, and then have a second bag for just supporting the rear for prone. That might be an option as well. So lots of things to think about. If you live in an area where you can have more than 10 rounds, that's going to help you out here to save you time on a mag change. I didn't really optimize my mag change. In retrospect, the reason why I was thinking about doing it here is because you're going to fire 10 rounds after you go 1, 2, 3, and to 4. That's, you fire 10 rounds, and that seems like a natural point to change your magazine, since you got 10 round mags here in California, and then go up here to shoot final 2. But I kind of got up and then changed my mag. I should have changed my mag in position for prone. It would have been easier. But little inefficiencies. You got to be really on the ball on this stage to optimize everything. Otherwise, you're going to time out. I might run this one more time with a rail attached bag for fun before we move on to the next stage. All right, we're going to do a quick run with no target cam. Rail attached bag. And I still missed. Oh, good Lord. Okay, a lot better. 18 seconds. 18 seconds. Yeah, that's the way to go. Rail attached bag. I'll keep this bag on there. No bipod, bipod, take bipod off. That's the way to go. All right, let's move on to the next stage. Next stage of fire we're going to run through is called Don't Fall Like Santa Did. It's a 10-round stage. We have one single bank of targets. We have a 1.5 and a 2-inch on a double hanger at 84 yards. It's a rooftop stage, no restrictions defined in the stage. You're going to start standing, rifle to high ready, all gear in hand, mag in action open. On the start signal, you'll engage the targets from large to small with 1 shot each from the following positions on the rooftop in order. So you're going to shoot from the peak, the center, the bottom, the center, and the peak. Pretty straightforward. You're just going to do large, small, large, small, large, small, large, small, large, small. So 5 different positions, repeating 2 of them, the top and the center, and that's it. So 10-round stage. Can already see what I'm probably going to do. I don't feel like shooting the bipod. You know, maybe last year I would have shot from bipod, but I've learned that the bipod is becoming more of a crutch, and I think you're overthinking a lot of things with a bipod on a prop. So I'm going to go with the bag, but we'll see how that one works out for us today. But let's try this one out. Large, small. center. Target. There it is. Plenty of time. Now we don't need to rush this. My parallax is all jacked up though. It is right there. All right, 30 seconds left. Plenty of time. This stage is pretty straightforward. You just got 2 shots, 2 shots, 2 shots, 2 shots, 2 shots from the rooftop. Peak, center, bottom, center, peak, or top, whatever you want to call it. So top, middle, bottom, middle, top. Pretty straightforward. Nothing real to trip you up here as far as what order you're going to shoot targets in, as far as the large and small. However, it's how are you going to engage from the barricade. And you know, like I said, before I would have used a bipod. I would have put my bipod, my skypod, tilt, you know, canted it over, one leg far down, one leg long, one leg short, and then shoot off that. But I found that it's just faster to use a bag a lot of times. So that's why I went with the bag. And use the bag. I used a rail attached bag. You can just use a larger bag if you want. This is a mini. I think my medium would have been better, to be honest, but I made this work, and it's just simply a matter of getting the gun on target and just manipulating the bag a little bit, just so you're balancing on your balance point and then just taking nice, relatively stable shots. And from the prone, or like the bottom, I did take a quasi prone, put the gun here, and then use this for a little bit of rear support. This is the Armageddon gear. I have no idea what this one's called, but it's just this pretty flat, squishable bag that you can use for rear support or anything, any support for that matter. Yeah, and there's really not much else to say. I mean, again, peak, shoot the peak off here, or off the peak with that. And again, bipods really not going to work on the top of the rooftop. And I took my bipod off because it will generally get in the way of the rooftop. So I took my bipod off. That's how I would shoot it. I recommend just shooting off with a bag, and that's it, and you should be fine. My gun is balanced well enough that I don't have to really put too much rear support or anything to manipulate it, but I know a lot of people may not have that luxury, and so you may want to use a mega bag or a pump pillar or something to get a little more stability for your support side, or like to support your shooting arm, but I didn't need it. So let's go ahead and move on to the next stage in the Course of Fire. Next stage we're going to run through is called Noel Time Like the Present. It's a 12-round stage, and we have a tank trap. No real restrictions here. We have one single bank of targets. We have a 2.5 and a 3-inch on a double hanger at 100 yards. This is the bonus time stage, so if you finish with extra time on the clock, you get bonus points. You're going to start standing, rifle at the high ready, all gear in hand, mag in action open. On the start signal, you'll engage the targets from each tip and the center of the tank trap with 1 shot on the large, 2 shots on the small. You may choose the position order to engage the targets from. So basically 1 large, 2 small. And you can shoot it in any order you want. You're going to shoot 3 shots per position with 4 positions total, so that's 12 rounds. Wow, there's a fly buzzing around me, but or fly or bee. But I think most people are going to shoot center first, simply to get a good wind call and then move to the tips. So that's the only I guess tidbit I can give you. It's just your standard tank trap stage, and shoot it like you like to shoot tank traps, I guess, as far as whatever your preference is, as far as bag and support gear type. But let's go ahead and try this one out. Oh, I need down my large, small, twice. Oh, I missed one. Should have waited for it to stop moving. That's all right. I get done a couple legs. Did I hit it? Yeah, I hit it. So I gotta wait for it to stop moving because I lost a round on that. Yeah, there you go. 53. It's a really straightforward stage. Your standard tank trap, just 4 positions, 3 rounds each, and then a mag change for me since I only have 10 rounders. I probably should have taken my mag change here in the center instead of on the tip because you're just more supported here in the center. So I'll do that next time. However, I did shoot from a high kneeling position from the center, and then I shot just kind of hunched over on all the tips. I probably could have shot this one off a high kneeling. Probably would have been a problem. I probably could have done it. Yeah, I actually should have just shot high kneeling because we're shooting at upward angle. So I don't know. I shot fine. I missed 1 round because I didn't wait for the target to stop swinging. And that's the thing with these stages, on these time stages. At the last match, I lost a round because I didn't wait for the target to stop moving, and I pulled and I took a shot, and it was a little bit more right than it needed to be. And had it been still, I would have hit it. But since it was moving back and forth, I missed the shot. So I think you need to slow your mind down a little bit on these types of stages because there's the tendency to want to go as fast as possible to get bonus points. And these targets are relatively large. So you think, oh, I have a lot of leeway as far as my hold. I can go fast, pull the trigger, and that's true to some regard. But you still have to factor in that there's going to be some issues that you still need to break a nice, tight center shot, even if your targets are forgiving, like a 2.5 and a 3-inch at 100 yards. So anyway, that's all I can give you as far as advice here is just to make sure you just kind of slow down a little bit. Yes, you want to go fast, but you also want to hit every shot. So let's move on to the next stage. Next stage in the Course of Fire running is called Up and Down the Christmas Tree. It's a 10-round stage, and we have the pyramid. We have 1 single target. It's a 2.5-inch on a double hanger at 83 yards, and there are no restrictions on this pyramid stage. You're going to start standing. Rifle at the high ready, all gear in hand, mag in action open. On the start signal, engage the target with 1 shot from 10 different positions. Positions are the outside left and right of the 2x4 sections and the middle 2x4 sections. So essentially, this is a position, this is a position, these are positions. So anywhere on the outside, middle of the diagonal portions of the pyramid. So this is pretty much going to be shoot and move type stage. That's a lot of people time out simply because you're basically resetting 10 times or setting up 10 times, and you're basically having to create your shot, 10 different times in 120 seconds. So my only advice here is just move as fast as you can, and don't sit too long on a sight picture. I mean, granted, you do want to get a proper sight picture sight alignment, but once you're on target, pull that trigger and move. And don't slap it, just pull the trigger and move. 10-round stage, so no mag loads here, hopefully. And let's try this one out. Four, 7, 8, 9, 24 seconds left. Let's break this down on why I shot it the way I shot it. And honestly, I wasn't really thinking too much other than the fact I knew I didn't want to go to a prone position. So I didn't want to shoot the bottom rung because I didn't want to have to change my body level because I'm going to be shooting off of my feet or my knees. And I don't want to have to get back down on the ground and get up. So I want to avoid prone as much as possible because that just wastes time. So I decided to shoot the top position, even though I'm kind of short and we're shooting at this uphill angle, which I can kind of make it, and I have a tall bag and an additional rail, but I still shot it, kind of shot with my on my tippy toes a little bit, kind of got my position, but I was stable and safe enough that I could take that shot. But I wanted to remain standing, so I shot standing. After I shot this, I was thinking, do I go right or do I just go back down? And what I wanted to do is work my way down because I got a heavy gun, and it feels more natural to just pick the gun up and let it rest down, rest down, rest down. And then once I took these 4 positions were easy access to because you don't have to go in between the slots or in between these portholes here that are created by this pyramid. It's easy to just flow down, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I didn't want to shoot that bottom rung because I didn't want to have to get down on the ground like my body, right? Prone position. So my next thing was to either go all the way up or go laterally. And I felt that at that moment in time in my head, I want to repeat this process and go to the top, shoot again, and work my way down naturally on the outside. But that puts me in the next, after 8 shots, then what do I do next? And so I just instinctively went this 3rd rung and then this 4th rung, like from the top, right? So 4th and the 3rd and 4th. In retrospect, I could have went here, but I felt that, I was already at this rung here. I could have just either went laterally and up or just went here and here. So I just decided to go here and then here. That was just my own decision on the fly, but that's why I shot the way I shot. You may want to think about that, whether or not you want to go all 5 positions here on the outside, because it's a little bit easier than trying to manipulate your gun and like kind of worm it in here, especially if you got a long barrel and a heavy gun like mine. But again, I just did not want to get prone because that's just, you get in your body, you're changing your positions, right? Standing, maybe, and then kneeling again, or like low kneeling. Then do you really want to get prone? I want to stay kind of on my feet, right? That's kind of my goal here, to save time. And I finished with like 24 seconds left, so I felt like that was the right choice for me. But you're gonna have to decide how you want to shoot this, however your personal preferences are. Anyway, let's move on to the last stage. The last stage we're going to run through is called Don't Krampus My Stage. It's a 12-round stage. We have 3 sets of targets. We have the 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch KYL at 47 yards. We have a 1.5 inch on a double hanger at 67 yards. Then we have a 2.5 inch on a double hanger at 95 yards. 47, 67, 95. Then we have 3 different props on this stage. We have a stack of cinder blocks, a chair seat facing the right side of the range, and then a tire stack, 3 tires stacked together. And there's a bulldozer behind me if you hear some noise. There's no restrictions here. You're going to start standing, rifle at the high ready, all gear in hand, mag in, action open. On the start signal, you'll engage the targets with 1 shot each, large to small, in the following order and manner. Cinder blocks near to far, chair seat far to near, tire stack near to far. So it's near, far, far, near, near, far, but you need to remember that you're always going to shoot the largest first and the smallest. Obviously, for the KYL, it only applies to KYL because there's 2 targets in the KYL, but for the other distances, there's only 1 target. So just think large, small, near, far. So near, far, far, near, near, far. Pretty straightforward. Again, 12-round stage. If you got mags more than 10, you'll benefit from this because there's no magazine change required. I think I'm going to run my big bag here. I'm thinking about it. I think I will run the big bag. I think I might have to. I don't know. I'll run the big bag. We'll see how it goes. Hits on both. I don't think I need this bag, to be honest. It's in the way. Near far near. Actually, I'll need the bag, to be honest. Yeah, I'll need this bag. Hit both. Bag change. And then fall around here. Actually, I'll use the bag here. Yeah, I'll use the bag here. A lot of bounce on this tire. Hit. Parallax. That time. Oh shit, 1 second. Barely finished the time. I finished with barely enough time left, which a little bit surprised. I'll have to analyze this when I'm editing the video to see where I was slowing myself down, because it's only 3 positions. I think I had some inefficiencies deciding on parallax. I had my parallax at the, I don't know where it was set. I should have had it set for the KYL and then adjusted it midway. So, because you're gonna shoot KYL here, starting here, and then go up, go back, then back to front. And then I can adjust my parallax for that and go there, shoot the KYL again, and then parallax on the way out. So I think that was kind of a thing. I was kind of tripping myself with the parallax, but so I'll start off next time like at 50 yards for parallax, or a little bit under 50. However, I'm not entirely sure where else I was slowing myself down. I think the bag, just trying to figure out whether I needed the bag or not. From this position, I'm fine. The issue in that tire is very unstable, and I kind of used it, kind of didn't. I definitely used it here with the chair because we're definitely shooting at an upward angle, and it felt better to have some support here as I'm tilting my rifle at a high angle, because it's tilting it higher from a low position. So big bag will be beneficial, like a pump pillar or something. So the mega bag helped out. On this center block, I didn't really need it. In the tire, it didn't really make much of a difference because there was a lot of up and down bounce. Because if anyone shoots at the West End Gun Club, the tires that I have here, they're not like those three-ply sidewall tires, like those, off-road tires, which are very thick and rigid, right? I got some, I think these are 2-ply, and so they do have some flex to it. So this does annoy people because it does bounce. And no other advice here. It's all going to vary from club to club as far as how stable your tires are. But on the backside here, it seems like it's going to be a little bit bouncy. I believe someone made a comment that the side may have less bounce. I don't know. To be honest, it feels all the same to me. How you're going to do this. You can also opt to just try to shoot like this, but you'll need a bipod or something, in my opinion, or a bigger bag. But definitely going to be some wobble here. I don't really have any other advice here other than try to control your holds. Try not to manipulate, control the gun too much here and let the gun settle in. But yeah, just any touch on this tire causes this thing to bounce. Like if I touch my rifle, it, do I have a round in there? No, I don't. Yeah, definitely a lot of wobble there. So it's going to be a tough stage for people with these tires. But that's it for this. let's clean up and then wind down this range vlog. All packed up, about to get out of here, but let's just summarize this December 2024 Course of Fire. I think it's going to be moderately difficult compared to the previous 2 Courses of Fire. I think the last 2 just had some memorization stuff, but other than that, the actual shooting itself is very basic, I would say. This one has more movements on different barricades on the same stage, and there may be the potential to time out, especially if you're not optimizing your shooting. The tank trap's going to be simple. I think the pyramid won't be too bad for most people. I think the barrel prone sawhorse stage, the first stage, in order of the Course of Fire as it's printed out, that one's probably going to be the most difficult for people because they're going to be struggling with figuring out how they're going to shoot those 3 different positions, barrel, prone, and sawhorse, while moving back and forth and trying to adjust their bipods if they're going to use them, or what bags they're going to use. So I think that's going to be the one that's going to require a lot more thought. So I recommend you kind of mock something up at home and try to figure out how you're going to do this. Like in your garage, set up something that's of similar diameter as a barrel surface so that you can simulate what you're going to do and figure that out. The rooftop is pretty much simple, and then the tank trap, like I said, is easy. The pyramid, if anything, it'll be the first stage, Debi's Hurry's Christmas, probably the pyramid, if anything, the 4th one. If I can get to that page because the wind's blowing, up and down the Christmas tree, and Don't Krampus my stage, which is going to be that cinder block chair seat tire thing. That one might be a little bit more difficult for some people depending on your range, because the tires may be different depending from range to range, venue to venue, because our tires are very thin and they bounce. So that's gonna be difficult for our venue, and other places it won't be. So I think this is gonna be moderately difficult, but I think it's a nice Course of Fire because you're technically, I think there's only one portion of this match you're shooting prone. Everything else is off a barricade. And that's what I liked about the last match. There were no prone stages, so there were no prone shooting. The only thing I hate as a match director is that there's all these props I have to set up. Today was a bear because I had to bring out tank trap, rooftop, tires, cinder blocks, pyramid. So everything I'm bringing out is it's very tedious to bring out all that stuff and set it up. But then on match day, I got to set it up and tear it down. So that's what I hate as a match director. But as a competitor, I appreciate not shooting prone because prone gets boring. Anyway, that's it for this run through of the Course of Fire. If you have any questions or comments, definitely comment in the video and I'll see what I can do as far as answering them. And if you have any other ideas on how you'll shoot different stages, definitely comment as well. Maybe people will get some ideas from you that might help them out. Anyway, that's it for today. Tuesday, November 26th. Oh, it is Thanksgiving coming up. So just want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, of course. And I'll leave you with one message, I guess. Recently, like from a personal standpoint in our family, we've had a lot of deaths recently. In the past 12 to 13 months, we've had 4 people in my family that's passed. Lost 2 uncles, an aunt, and a cousin, 3 to cancer, and 1 just a sudden death. And it's all, it's a terrible thing to have to deal with. My aunt and my cousin died in the past couple months. And so I guess cancer, definitely something that it's something we all eventually encounter in some capacity, whether personally, like yourself, or someone in your family or close friend or whatever. But I mean, that's just stuff we deal with. But I guess when reflecting on these types of things that are happening, I mean, at least in my family, you just have to be thankful for what you have right now. Enjoy your life. Obviously, don't enjoy your life such as a detriment of someone else, right? I mean, you don't have to be an asshole, right? You enjoy your life, do what you want to do as far as try to enjoy your things. You want to travel, go travel. I think I've been reflecting a lot about, when I'm going to retire, and like, should I retire earlier than I anticipated, simply because, it sucks to see people hit at retirement age and then just pass because of an illness or something, and they didn't even get to enjoy life after working. So things you just got to think about. But I guess my whole point here is just on the eve before Thanksgiving, just hopefully you can just reflect on your own life and have those things that you can enjoy and be grateful for, and hopefully can help other people out throughout this season for who are less fortunate than you, especially coming in Christmas later on. But definitely want to wish everyone happy Thanksgiving, and hopefully you can, you know, have that time to yourself and your family, with your friends, just to reflect on what's good in your life and to move forward. Anyway, that's it for this raid vlog. I'll see you in the next one.